Hey there, Stephanie Joy with all things Social Security and the law practice of Joy Disability. Here's a short little segment from our recent live stream Q&A that we have every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the YouTube channel, All Things Social Security. Enjoy, and if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments, and I will be sure to get to them. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.
Hey guys, how is everybody? Shiloh, I see you are here bright and early with 5 million questions. We'll see. We'll get through them, but we'll probably jump around because I don't want to make everyone else not be heard. Are you? Dimple's in the house. Dimple says yes, she can hear us. Okay, good. Guys, you know Shannon Justice of Justice Disability. Shannon's in Kentucky, right? And Shannon, do you see the postings part? The
comments, yeah, I see them.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to put your website in there, so if anyone wanted to reach out to you, feel free. You know, you could just type it right in there. It'll come up on the page. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'll let me.
Okay. Anyway, so Shannon's been here before a couple times. So we're gonna share your questions, and you can see maybe a couple different perspectives and stuff like that. Jen says, I would love to see the answers for Shiloh's function report questions. Those are way above in the beginning. I've watched the playlist on the mental health RFC, done a lot of research, but still not sure. Okay, so I think what you're saying is, because I haven't even read all the questions yet, Jen, I think what I'll do is maybe I'll read them afterwards and I'll do a video and address them. Will that work, Shiloh? Only because look at the time. My throat is raw as I'll get out. And poor Shannon's like, hey, you said 2 hours. So I never want to leave a question unanswered. But
No,
I
didn't have nowhere else to be, so you're good.
Yeah. My concern, Shiloh, was that, and I love the fact that you put them in early. I do. But I couldn't do them all, or else I'm making people who were here on time wait an hour to get, I just didn't think that was fair. Should I say the word equitable? Which is really one of my least favorite words, but I'll use it for fun. Michael Ruth says he gets $1,882 for SSD. Yeah. I think that's better than that's like average right now, Michael. It's not higher than average, lower average, and it's going to be tight to live on. I always say to people, first of all, move to if you're in a high end area, expensive state or whatever. I would like to see a sliding scale Medicaid for that. Now they say the marketplace can do that, but I don't know. I don't follow the marketplace. It would be like and if you have a very expensive conditions, obviously that's the marketplace probably isn't going to cover half that stuff if it's a cheap policy. That's what I would like to see, a sliding scale thing for people exactly in your position, Michael. I'm not really concerned about the SNAP and the rent because, we can, I had roommates back in the day to keep my rent down. Other people can do that too. That's if they're paying rent or whatever. I don't have an answer for you, but I could see definitely the pain of the health insurance. Let's say you had Medicare though, Michael. So you have Medicare, 82, let's say it's down to $1,600 after you pay for your Medicare. Do you think it's appropriate? You have health insurance, that SNAP would go away? Like, are you thinking you can't afford to feed yourself and pay rent maybe with a shared apartment with somebody or, I shared a house there were 8 of us girls in there. We each shared a bedroom, when the tough gets going. But so I'm wondering what your perception is like. I don't know. What do you think, Shannon? I mean, this is just like a opinion thing almost, like, $1,600. If you're not, you could go get a little job if you're able. You got Medicare. SNAP says no, that's too much. You could buy your own food. I once fed a family of 4 on $100 a week. So, and I did it. It was a challenge, actually. I was trying to desperately save money during leaner days. And, it was for family for $400. So each person basically was eating $100 a month. You don't necessarily eat the best stuff. I think I did a lot of like whole wheat pasta, trying to keep it a little bit healthier. When we made the pasta, we put less meat in it. We're like huge meat eaters, my husband and I. Like we can eat a big steak. My appetite's not like it used to be, but that was historically. Technically, I was probably eating far more protein than would be in the guidelines or whatever. So I'm just saying, like that steak could have made probably 7 meals of protein. You know what I mean? If I didn't eat that all, but I don't know. I do think there's got to be a limit. I don't know what it is, like for SNAP. What's reasonable? I just know that we have to be creative with our bills, even like our cost of living these days is so much higher than it used to be. A phone used to cost $8, which is maybe now $16 when I was way younger. And it was like, as long as you didn't do it, out of area calls, young people don't even know what that means because now we have cell phones. But I pay $100 a month for now a cell phone because it comes with all the extras, the bells and whistles, the smart stuff. I can look at YouTube on there. But that's an expense. That's a cost that didn't exist, and my bill could be $16. Do you know what I mean? So our standard of living with all these fun things, Netflixes that we tack onto our cable, it really puts a big ding in the bank. And sometimes I think we have to start cutting out that stuff so we know we can afford on what we have, and not just people that are on SSD. What's Shannon?
They don't make it easy for anybody, no matter how much your check is.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. How to prove this is user? Hello, user. How to prove if one sleeps 16 plus hours a day, sleeps like dead, nods off 20 times per hour. That's when you're not sleeping, right? And can't do anything on a schedule. Woo. Well, are you going to ask about narcolepsy? Wow, that's excessive. Would we all agree? I assume you have doctors, and they would be seeing you not off in your appointments. Get all this stuff documented. You need to get that treatment. What do you think, Shanna?
Yeah, you just have to go to the doctor's appointments and make sure you're letting them know and being vocal about the issues you're having, and hope they put it in the paperwork. Every time. Keep a sleep schedule. I would keep a journal on that. That will be helpful later. And every few months you can give it to your doctor so he sees that 7 days a week you slept for 16 to 20 hours a day. That's a serious impairment. That's major. If you can prove that, you could be 20 years old and get SSD. I mean, that you don't have to have crippled hips or anything like that, or crutches or anything, that's really significant. Getting your proofs, objective proofs. They should be able to do some neurological tests with like sleep studies to learn that. If you haven't had those, I would definitely get those. Go to town on this because that is clear. That is so clearly disabling from every single full-time 8-hour day job. I mean, but you got to get the proofs. Jenny says, thank you both so much. Happy Easter. I think she tried to put in a little picture there, but it says face fuchsia flower shape, so it didn't work, but maybe it shows up later, Anyway, you too, Jen. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to everybody. I gotta color my eggs. I gotta get my focus my mojo to the right place where it should be for the season, for sure. I gotta slow it down a little bit. I was listening to a speaker the other day about being too rushy around doing everything, having too much in one schedule. I know I do that. Now I do know I'm very spiritual these days, and I do certain things every day, but I also probably blow off things I shouldn't, like including like paying attention better when my family's speaking to me, like when I'm at my computer, because I'll be like, I can't do this and hear you say, so sometimes I gotta like maybe carve out a little more time. So I don't know, but that's part of what Easter will help me focus on a little bit. Joel says, happy Easter. Thanks for your time and expertise. You too. Gregory Petty says, happy Easter, ladies. Thank you for all the information. Michael Ruth says, I just feel the state shouldn't take a cost of, yeah, I understand. Do they take away, Michael, all of your SNAP and all of this and all that? Or did they just reduce it by the amount of COLA? I forget what you said. Do you remember what he said? I think they took it because of the COLA, that's what he said.
Your COLA that's a whole nother thing. Are you saying you had it with your benefits, Michael? You got COLA, your benefits went up teeny tiny bit because of COLA, and now you hit a hard barrier with, was it Massachusetts assistance with SNAP and all that and Medicaid? You hit the hard thing because of COLA, and they don't enjoy a COLA like that? That's crazy. See, they should just do an adjustment. You pay the COLA, we don't cut you out. Like, how about your COLA goes to that? You know what I mean? Like, that would be the sliding scale. Yeah. See, our legislators, they're dumb as rocks. And they're all, I'm not going to say all, but it seems like there's just so much greed. Either side of the fence, people playing games, like how about what's common sense and logical and works math-wise? If Michael's income went up by $20 and now you're taking away $800 worth of benefits, that because of the $20, that does not make sense. It should be, all right, Michael, you got to give us $20. You know what I mean? And then you know what I mean? Like a sliding scale. Anyway, that's my big ass opinion on it. Half Pint says, happy Easter, and thank you, both of you. Yeah, Michael Ruth also says, cost of living increase into account. They should take it into account. They should adjust their, they should adjust their qualifying limits as well. Now, I will agree with that because SSI, well, that adjusts with COLA. And I don't know why state benefits wouldn't also recognize that COLA is inflation's impact and therefore it should adjust. But in the SSI field, what they never adjusted, and you guys know I witch about this all the time, the resource limit that a SSI person can save has been $2,000 since the 80s. As if $2,000 in the 80s is the same as what it is now. Ridiculous. I really hope they change that. There's some things that people are pushing for that I think they're asking for a mile when they should be asking for a reasonable inch. But that's not one of them. That one should definitely be changed. It's pathetic. What was some of the things that they, I mean, some proposals are outlandish. Some say they shouldn't have a limit on savings. Really? So a guy with $500,000 in the bank can collect SSI that we all pay for when we work, and we can't even make savings ourselves, but you can have 500,000 and we still have to pay you. So I do think there's got to be a limit. I definitely think $2,000 is not enough. I'd be game for the 10,000 actually. And that's higher than what COLA would have had it. However, because I think I did the math. I'm a math person. However, the COLA never actually reflects the true. Is it cold in here for you? The COLA never actually reflects the true inflation. It doesn't use the basket of goods appropriately. It's not properly weighted. So I don't think the COLA is good enough to represent what really the cost of living, the index that they use it on, that they make the COLA from. So that's why I'm like, yeah, you know, let's say with a proper COLA, it would have been 6,000. I'm still game for the 10,000 SSI.
Yeah,
too, because
I think they definitely need to change that.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So you didn't get rid of the SNAP. They just deducted the amount of SNAP by the COLA. I kind of get that. That I kind of understand, Michael. But the medical tomorrow is hold on a second, guys. I just gotta turn off this fan because I think my little girl here is freezing. I hope that's it. Is that shutting down? We'll find out. Sorry, Tasha. I was gonna say Shiloh. That's because we have a Shiloh dog visiting. And there's a Shiloh that was watching. Getting rid of the medical just means you can't even get treatment because no one can afford treatment plus living on $1,800, right? Like I get the COLA. That would be the sliding scale I'm talking about, Michael. But the kicking off the state medical doesn't. That is so detrimental. And you know, what do you think, Shannon? Am I seeing that right?
It don't make sense why they would adjust one and not the other.
Yeah, I mean medical.
I mean, if you would, in most cases, you qualify for one, you do qualify for the other. So it's weird that they did it that way.
Yeah, it is weird. The rules are just la rocho. Well, you said you're mentioning antipsychotics, and those are for, and I'm not talking like Norman Bates. Antipsychotics are for psychotic symptoms. That's all. Good. I'm at the last one. We might not go down as not having finished. Howdy. Sorry, I'm late to the party. Hi, Jeffrey Taylor. Yes, you are. And we are about to kick on out of here. There was Shannon Justice here all afternoon. Jeffrey, to me. All right. So the one thing I just want to qualify that for Jen and for Shiloh, I'm going to do those questions. I'm going to find them and I'm going to do a video on them. In fact, if you wanted to join me on those, Shannon, we could do a pre-recorded and get them answers. That's something we could do. Shannon and I have been talking about, collaborating on a couple of pre-recordeds. We're like, well, what should we talk about? That might be the way we could get our feet wet. Does that sound good? All right, kiddo. It was good to see you, Shanna. Do you want to stay on a minute after I close this down? I think I could still see you. Everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to come to the 12 o'clock dailies. And I hope to see you next week at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our weekly live stream. And I'm sure, hopefully, Shanna will be back. Any questions you have in the meantime, you can post them under any video. I check them all. I do get a little bit behind at times. It's not my first priority of my workday, but I usually do get to them, usually within a week. And I will either respond right there. If I don't respond, it's probably because I might be able to do a video, in which case I will share it to you first as an unlisted. And then when you've had a day or two to check your notifications and get it, I will later make it public or put it on the list of the publics. It'll probably go to members first because that's what everything does. It gets backed up as it gets queued for being one of the 12 o'clock dailies because I don't like to put more than one out on a day. So if I have more than one, they're going to be in a queue. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Dimple, you too. Happy Easter, everybody. Be well and be safe. And I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye now.